there again on a run. This time I'm running back from the gym, which is about 11 kilometers from home, and I'm like a little over halfway there. I've been sick for the past week, so this is my first day back at the gym because I don't want to get other people sick. And I've been working out on my own. I've been, lifting weight and running and stuff like that. But oh fuck, when you take time off from like pad work and clinching and stuff, and you get back, there's always an adjustment period. That is why for many years Sylvie just never ever stopped. It's like fight and go immediately back into training because it is just so hard to start again from nothing. It's like starting a bicycle halfway up a hill. It's really hard. So I was having this thought today that there's kind of like differences in people's, I don't know, awarenesses. It's come to my attention over a period of years, but very recently, in the past couple of months, it's become pretty clear to me that like your average Thai, including your average Thai who like runs a gym and has grown up fighting, has like 30 years, 40 years experience in Muay Thai, has like raised their sons in Muay Thai, and I'm talking about multiple people. So lots of people who work in Muay Thai, have been in Muay Thai their entire lives, have done the fight thing, the training thing, many fighters under their care, all of this stuff. They don't know what a concussion is. And I thought for a while when I was first discovering this that it was just like a translation issue. Like if there's not a word in Thai for concussion, you need to describe what it is, so you have to be like, it's when your brain smashes against your skull and these are the symptoms of it and stuff like this. And over the years I have come to see that in a very common way, and I'm not going to say it's everybody, but in a very common way, concussion is not something that Thais who are in the fight game know about at all. So, if their fighter gets rung or like has some symptoms, they're kind of like rest for 20 minutes. They have them like sparring the next day. Maybe they've like read some stuff about head injury type of stuff, and like there's a lot of talk about child fighting a couple of years ago where they were going to make it illegal for anyone under the age of 12 to fight. And a lot of the reasons that people were talking about had a bunch of doctors on TV and like nurses and stuff talking about head injury and head trauma. And so I think that people got a little bit of awareness through that, but I don't think that they knew what it was. They just kind of like puppeted back what they were seeing on TV, but it was pretty clear that it didn't really know what this was. So recently, in the past month or so, it's come to my attention directly a number of times that this is not something that average Thais are aware of. What got me thinking that like something that Kevin and I talk about quite a bit between ourselves, and then Kevin talks about online, is that a lot of these 3-round entertainment formats, because they are about knockout and they're all about like go from the bell and go really hard, if you're trying to knock someone out, most people think of like punching to the head. There's a lot of head hunting when you're going for a knockout. This is not so much the case when you're trying to like strategically win a fight, or even if you're like trying to knock someone out because you've been hurt. A lot of Thais will like grab and start kneeing, but when you tell someone that there's a knockout bonus, or you're like trying to knock someone out, or this kind of thing, everyone turns into a headhunter. And so Kevin has talked about how this 3-round format and this kind of like emphasis on KOs is just going to bring CTE into the training of Muay Thai a lot more. Like the way you train is going to be all of this headhunting, and then the way you fight is going to be this way, and it's going to start from much younger, and then you're wearing the smaller gloves and all of this stuff. Added to this, which Kevin does not even know, because this is something that I have been slowly discovering and kind of only now really like branching out and saying this, added to that, the trainers and possibly even the promoters, the people who are handling these fighters, they don't know about this. And so you have someone who has, concussion or has a head injury, and they just put them straight back into training or any of these things. So like it's a much bigger problem in that sense of like not knowing what something is, or what a danger it is. Like, I think that the blowback that one had regarding the small gloves, I don't think that the majority of Thais who were complaining about this even were taking into account concussion and head trauma, because they don't know about this. They don't know what this is. So when they were told, oh no, the big gloves are actually safer, whatever, they don't have any kind of like logical thought or like rational thought to try to like work their way around like how this makes sense or doesn't. When you have people who are knocked out, like in Bangkok, they will get banned from fighting for, I think it's like, not a lot, maybe like 31 days. It's not a lot, but if you get knocked out, like out, clearly a concussion, like unconscious, they will bar you from fighting for like I think 31 days, whereas the norm is 21 days. So doctors are advising about this, but in the main, like the majority of people are not thinking about head trauma in this way. So to me, that's a concerning thought. That's not something that people are kind of aware of in dealing with their own fighters and stuff like this. And I do not want this to turn into a concern troll talk about CTE and stuff like that, because like I know people are very, very afraid of CTE. Yes, it is a dangerous sport. Yes, like regardless of how you do it in any of these things, that is a risk in any way that you fight. It's a risk in tons of sports that aren't even like hitting each other in the head. You can get from soccer, like people heading the ball, I think, get lots of traumatic, concussive, repeated brain injuries kind of stuff. Like, yes, I'm not turning this into a discussion about CTE. I'm making a point about awareness of it and introducing a way of fighting that's going to skyrocket this, while awareness of it and information on it and knowledge of it is still really, really low. It's just unideal, I guess is the way to say that. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm interested to see how 5-round Muay Thai is going to kind of push back in a way. Like many months ago, I think it was in August, I can't remember, Kevin and I went to see this huge show at Rajadamnern that was put on by the 3 top 5-round real Muay Thai promoters. So this would be Pet Yindi, Giat Pet, and Sor Samai. They all kind of banded together and they made this huge show at Rajadamnern that they said that they weren't going to put up live anywhere. They weren't going to show it afterwards. Like, you had to go watch it live, like Golden Age style. You had to buy a ticket and go see it. And Kevin and I were pretty excited by the idea. We wanted to put our money where our mouth is. We talk about wanting to save this kind of Muay Thai, and we're like, you know what? You do that by voting with your dollar. So we're like, we're going to go see this. It's really important for us to go see this as a way of supporting it. And then when we actually had gone and seen it, it was so good. It was so good and so exciting. And I did a vlog about it afterwards. You guys can go watch that, about like more of the, not this, but like me actually talking about the experience of it. It's amazing. And they're doing another one. And they're kind of like shifting seats. So like that first one, Pet Yindi was kind of in charge of. They kind of, took the lead role in that in case it didn't work. And this one's going to be more Giat Pet in charge. But so I thought that was a really interesting way of pushing back for 5-round Muay Thai, to be like, we're going to go the opposite direction of this kind of like, get as many likes, get as many views, get as many like, social media interactions as you can, and actually fucking go watch the show. Which I thought was a very, very cool way to kind of like hit back at it. And I'm wondering what they're going to be doing, because you can't, the world has changed, like I don't know what the phrases are that we actually use in English, like the cat's out of the bag, or you can't put the genie back in the bottle, like this kind of thing. Like the world has changed, and so everything is about people watching things on their phone and watching online, and you need social media presence and all this stuff to sell stuff. But hopefully people are still going and watching things live. I don't think the only thing that they can do is just this kind of like go see it live kind of thing, but I'm wondering what the 5-round pushback is going to be to this kind of like all-out assault, more action, push it, this kind of thing. I wonder if there will be a little bit of a backlash in kind of like emphasizing the traditional or stylistic or kind of beautiful way of doing things, which not easy to do, because I don't think that everyone has the skills that they had before when everything was kind of more in that vein. So I don't know. I'm curious about where that's going, whereas I'm incurious about where some other things are going. So at least that's something to look forward to. All right, I have to start running again. It's getting dark. I actually am a little bit afraid to run in the dark. So, all right, Sylvie out.